This is Temple Salas-Yoshii, and I'm going to show you how to make a Google form into a quiz or test. So to begin with, go to Google in your Chrome browser, log in using your Ocean View School District email. As you can see, I have this here. And then go to the waffle board in the upper right-hand corner. Click on it, and then click on Drive. Now you're in your Ocean View School District Drive. Click on the plus sign to go to New. Go down to where it says More, and then over to the right, click on Google Forms. It's the purple icon. Now you have a Google form. So I'm not going to go into a lot of depth about how to create a Google form. There's some great videos out there, and it's pretty easy. I want to focus instead on how to turn the form into a quiz. So basics of making a form are title your form. I'm going to call this Practice Quiz. And the title shows up in both places. The first question you always want to ask is, what is your name? Now, you can set up your form so that it collects email addresses, but it is so much easier to score them when the first question is, what is your name? Always click on Required. Then click on the plus sign and ask your question. Why is grass green? And I like to make at least half of the questions multiple choice when I'm doing this kind of a test. Click on your choices. So photosynthesis, carbonation, environmental answers. Okay. Now, because we want this to be a quiz, we're now going to set this up to be a quiz. So go to the top, and you see the icons on the right side. This is where you would have any add-ons. Don't worry about that now. This is how you can customize the look of it. I'll go into it in another video. This is how you can preview it, and you want to click on the wheel, which is your settings. Click on your wheel, and you see some general settings here. You want to make sure you collect email addresses. That's your backup in case you forget to have your first question be, what is your name? Response receipts are not relevant. Restrict to users in Ocean View. Yes, that way no other people can take it. Limit to one response. Yes. You don't want them to go back and keep trying. Edit after submit. I would say no. You don't want them to be able to change their answers after they submit it and see their score. And definitely do not select see summary charts and text responses. This shows them everyone else's response. Go to presentation. These things are optional. You can show a progress bar. You can have the questions shuffled. I don't usually do that. You can add a confirmation message. Thank you for completing your quiz. Then click on quizzes. And the most important thing is to click on this button which says make this a quiz. I would not release the grade immediately after submission to help prevent cheating. You do not want the kid on the right to see the answers and the grade of the kid on the left, and then to see which answers that child got wrong. So I would click on later after manual review. You might let them see missed questions if you do not think they are going to share this information with their neighbor. I don't recommend having them see correct answers because, again, they might share it with their neighbor. I would let them see how many points each one is worth. Click on Save. So now that this is a quiz, we can see that there is a new box right here that says total points. This shows you the total number of points for your quiz. The first question, what is your name? It has 0 points. It is required. The next question, why is grass green? Click on it. And you want to click on Answer Key. Click on your correct answer, and then click on how many points that answer is worth. Go back. You can click on Add Answer Feedback for incorrect answers, such as look at page 122 in your textbook, or help. That is one option, or you can simply leave it blank. I usually leave it blank. Click on the plus sign to add another question. Why are roses red? This one might be a paragraph answer. Again, click on Answer key. Since this is a paragraph, there's not going to be a correct answer to select, but you will want to give it a certain number of points. For paragraph questions, I usually make it 2 to 3 points so I can give partial credit. And then go back to Edit Question. Make sure it is marked Required. You can add another question. You might make this one a checkboxes. Checkboxes are used when there are multiple correct answers. So you might say, select all of the correct responses. Why is the sky blue? Answer 1 is reflection of the ocean. My love for you. The moon. Anything else you'd like to add? Again, click on the answer key, select all the ones that are correct, and decide on the number of points. If they had to select more than one correct response, you might give that 2 points. So you can give them 1 point for each correct response. You can add answer feedback if you like. Edit question, make sure it's marked Required. So there's lots of different questions you can create. Questions with images, questions with video, but I'm not going to get into that in this video. This only focuses on creating a quiz. So once you have finished, you can go in and you can customize the theme. You can choose an image. You can upload a photo if you like. Whatever you want. So I'm going to select a photo from my computer that relates to the topic. And when I select it, it becomes the new header. And I select it, and now I have my image at the top. And it also adjusts the color of your quiz to reflect it. Now, in order to have the kids take the test, you want to click on Send. And again, you want to make sure it is automatically collecting the email addresses. That's just in case you forgot to make your first question, what is your name? And then it says send via email, send as a link, or embed it. I always send it as a link, and I put it in Google Classroom. So click on Link, click on Shorten URL, click on Copy. Then go to your Google Classroom website, which we talked about in an earlier training, and decide on whatever class you want to upload it to. So you're in streaming, click on Share Something with Your Class. Title this, I'm going to title this Practice Quiz, but you can call it whatever you want. Click on, this is the Add a Link button. Paste the link, click Add Link. Click Post, and now kids can access the test. Now, here's the great part. I'm going to grade one of my tests in front of you so that you can see how easy it is to grade your tests. So I'm going to go to my drive, and the most recent history test they took was on the beginning of the Revolutionary War. It's called Disagreements Grow is our chapter. And here is my test that the kids took. And these were my questions. Again, these are 5th graders, so they can do a lot of writing. And one thing I forgot to do, which is really a pain now, is I forgot to make my first question, what is your name? And I paid the price because we had to go through and match the email addresses. So that was a big mistake. But you will not make that mistake. But here's the great thing. So I go back into the test that I made, and now I can see that there are the questions, and then the next one says responses. And here's what I love. It will tell you the average number of points. Now, this is not accurate because I have not graded all the questions yet. And the most frequently missed questions and what scores are. Again, this is not accurate because I have not graded everything yet. Now, I can so easily grade all 26 of these tests. So I have my summary, but some of these questions that I did were not multiple choice. They had to write a written response, a paragraph, a long answer. So for example, what was the Boston Tea Party? So I can very quickly and easily grade all of those at once. So I click on question. My first one was multiple choice. So I go to the one that is a paragraph right here. What was the Boston Tea Party? So every answer is here. If I want to see which child made that answer, I can click on where it says one ungraded response. I have the child's email address, and from there I can usually figure out who it was. Again, when I see the summary and I see the spreadsheet, I will see their names and their scores. If I had my first question be, what is your name? But when I'm grading them, grading these written responses all together, the only way to tell who it was to click here and then look at their email address. Okay, so for this first one, it's up to 3 points. What was the Boston Tea Party? He tells me the date. People thought Samuel Adams' plan. What happened next? The date. What did they do? The Sons of Liberty Trustees, Mohawk Indians, and marched. Members got on the ship. The reason all happened was because of taxes on tea for the colonists. I think this is a strong response, so I'm going to mark it as correct, all 3 points. Now, if I thought it was only worth 2 points, I could adjust it here. It is so fast to go through and grade these. I was able to grade about 88 tests that were required by the Environmental Nature Center field trip in less than 10 minutes. This is not finished being graded, but I'm running out of time, so I'm not going to finish it in front of you. But I can see each individual's score and each individual's test if I click on individual. So I have this child. I have all of their answers. I can see what they got right, what they missed. I can give them feedback if I wanted to for that individual. I can also go to this green icon and see all of this information on the spreadsheet. So when I click here, it says create a new spreadsheet, and I click on create, and now I have a spreadsheet with all their answers. Now, if I had done this right and I had remembered to add my first question, what is your name, then right here next to score would be every child's name. I did not do that. So what I now have to do is go through and match email with their score. Now again, these are not all scored. I've only scored a few in terms of the long paragraphs. But this is an idea of the kind of information that you get. I highly recommend this. I think it does make life much easier. See me if you have any further questions.